Hey guys, I just wanted to kind of caveat off the last video I made with the regarding skills, more of an intro level to DK tanking and why I personally run the sets that I run and the scenarios that I run. Before I start, I want to kind of set some premise for my thought process and the reason that I run sets the way I do. So, first and foremost, as a tank, your job is to provide support. And your support is by taking aggro and keeping it off of the DPS and healers and mitigating as much damage as you can. With that being said, outside of providing the bare, what I would argue to be the bare minimum a tank provides, a tank must provide via taunting major debuffs, and in game trials, one tank needs to run Eben, simply because it's the way that the game is set up right now, and the way that builds are set up right now, for the most part, is based around a minimum health. The reason that there is a minimum health in a trial and for vet in-game stuff, we strive and we need a minimum health is because there are some mechanics that you just purely cannot survive unless you have an 18k plus health pool. And so casters who typically have lower health pools, especially this patch, because whether that be Witchman's Brew or having to run more stamina, not stamina, but recovery based foods or whatever it may be, the health typically runs lower. So to get everyone to that cap and to give everyone that little extra boost, you provide Evan. Also, to I lost in my words. So, I do not have all the best traits. I do not have all the best enchants. I do not probably have the optimal block cost mitigation on my sets. But I have learned to work with what I have, and I personally can survive using what traits I have, and I'm still in the process of getting better traits. But since when you run 9, 10, 11, 12 sets on a character, it's hard to get every set optimal. And so also with that is I also have some sets that I wear with just body or with jewelry and weapons. It just varies on what I need. So a good rule of thumb is if you use any medium set or light drop set, you want to run the sword and board and jewelry. The reason is because, especially this patch, which the changes to resistances and the changes to resource management, at a minimum, I personally will run 6-1. So 6 heavy, 1 medium. I don't have any sets that I'd run 6 heavy, 1 light, but that is a possibility. If I'm not running a 6-1 setup, I'm running a 7, so 7 heavy. So to continue into skills, I'll use this set that I'm wearing now as an example. What I'm wearing right now is, let's say the situation calls for I am not with the group, I need to be by myself, I'm not getting any kind of support, I'm solely just needing to survive myself. And this can be whether I'm holding ads in a Zara off to the side while everyone's burning boss and overchargers that come out, or I'm holding mana cores in last boss sanctum. I'm holding them away from the group. I have no healer, I have no synergies coming my way, I have no assistance, I'm solely surviving. This is a set I would run. So I personally would run Plug Doctors just for the max health. I would wear that my jewelry and 2 body pieces, and then I would run Seducers. Yes, Seducers is a magic set, but it's crafted, so I can run it in any trait I want or in any place I want it. So I'm running the sword and board and then the body. Well, I want more magic recovery. I want to be able to heal more. So I accomplish this by a Shadow Wind. The 1 piece is 124 magic recovery, and a Choke Thorn. The 1 piece is 124 magic recovery. So, fully buffed, ready to go, I'm sitting at almost 2,000 magic recovery, 37k health, and a couple other stats. My physical resistance is a little low. I've been struggling to figure out what's causing that. It always dips about 3k lower than everything else, and I've searched champion points and everything else. I'm sure there's a simple answer to it, and I'm just not finding it. But it works for me. It's enough damage mitigation that it works for me. With stats being said, I personally, with my playstyle, I have a minimum stats I'm looking for. This is a pretty important point in this video. As a tank, you as an individual will figure out that little sweet spot of what resources you need and what resistances you need and what recovery you need for your playstyle. Mine personally is a minimum of 30k health, a minimum of 21k stamina, and a minimum of 15k magicka, with a magic recovery of 1500 or more. It used to be 1200, but after the updates to recovery and block cost reduction, reduction to abilities cost reduction, I had to bump that up another 200. There's a couple ways I accomplish this. So, and this is with tri-stat food. I always run tri-stat food. I have max magicka and max stamina food that I run very, very rarely. But 90% of the time I'm running tri-stat food, max health, max stamina, max magicka. So, what this means is it doesn't matter what your attributes or your glyphs are. I know some people say you need to run this, you need to run 7 health glyphs and have 32 in stamina and 7 in health, but in my mind you need to have a goal, and you can reach that however you reach that is fine. To be honest, these are the original attribute point setups I have since I've made this character. I've never changed them because it's worked, because I've adjusted my glyphs around what attributes I naturally have and what buffs I get with my food. So you need to find that sweet spot. My sweet spot is minimum of 30k health. That's with the group Eben. So if I'm running a super squishy support role like as an off tank, I might have 28k health, but I'm getting bumped up to 30k with Eben. So again, to recap, my minimum that I have to accomplish with my sets, I'll have 30k health, 15k magicka, 21k stamina, and 1500 magic recovery. And then of course I need to hit resistance fully buffed. Stamina recovery does not matter with my playstyle, and with most tanks I would argue, because stamina does not regen when you're blocking. And what are you doing as a tank? You're blocking 80% of the time. In combat you're blocking 90% of the time, if not more. Health recovery, you have a designated healer. There's no need for a health recovery unless you're running a health recovery build, which has kind of taken a little shot this last patch. But it is possible. So if that's what you're trying to play, then bump that up. But I like magic recovery because everything I'm using, my absorb magicka does not, excuse me, my green dragon blood, my chains, my igneous shield, my armor buff, all these skills are just magicka. So if you watch, my health, my magicka, stamina, stumbling everywhere. My stamina is not going anywhere. My stamina is used for taunting and blocking. That's all I use my stamina for. So that's why I wear seducers on this setup. Now let's say I am main tanking, I'm sitting under the boss, I know the boss mechanics, I know what to expect going in, and I just want to help the group as much as I can and just burn it down. Well, then I'm going to sit down, put an Alkosh. I know I'm going to be under the boss the whole time. I know I'm going to get plenty of synergies. Then I'm just going to go in this setup. I'm going to go Eben Alkosh, your typical main tank setup. So I'm going to go Eben Alkosh, and then because I'm going to be low on resistances, I'm not going to put the full set on. I'm just going to put enough to make it count. And because I just need to get, I'm a little bit low on resistances, so right now I'm going to check my resistances. I'm low. Fully buffed, I'm low. So I'm going to say, okay, well, we're doing stack fights, we're doing everything else. Let me put on, I want a little magic recovery still, so I'm going to put on the choke thorn. But I'm still low on resistances. So, hey, I'm going to go down and get my heavy Mighty Chudan, which is giving me spell and physical. Or I'm going to get my Lord Warden, and I'm going to put that on. And then I'm going to look at my stats. I always check my stats. Boom. I'm good on resistances. My magic recovery is a little bit lower than I would like. So I'm going in knowing, okay, I got more stamina to work with. So I got more stamina than usual, but my magic recovery is a little bit lower. That's fine, because I know my stamina is going to make up for that magic recovery loss. That's my thought process going in. So now I'm giving the group utility by Eben. My goal, my job was to provide Eben and provide as much debuffs as I could. I did that. Now, let's say I am off tanking, but I still need to run Eben. Okay. Well, let's say I want to run out. I want to pump out more Warhorns. Okay. I'm going to put on Eben jewelry because Alkosh is a crafted set. I'm going to put on Eben jewelry, Eben boots, and Eben legs. This is personally how I have my armor set up. And then I'm going to put on my Tavis. So then my Tavis is a crafted set, and there's no jewelry in crafted set. So then I put on my Tavis, and I'm only putting on one sword and board. I normally put on both, but for time's sake in the video, I'm just putting on one. So then I put on my Tavis. Okay, now I'm going to look at my buffs. Am I meeting my standard? Met my magicka? Met my health? Well, I'm over resistances on my physical. I mean, my spell is over resistances. So I can afford to lower my resistances. Okay, what do I need? Do I want to run a full monster set? Okay, I can afford that. So let's say I want to pump out I'm going in straight Warhorn. I'm going in straight Warhorn mode. I'm putting on Blood Spawn as well. Okay, I'm going to look. I'm a little low on resistances. I'm a little low on magic recovery. But I know I'm low on magic recovery. So going into the fight, I know, okay, I'm not going to have magic as much. But I'm going to get around that with potions and other things. And my physical resistance is a little bit low, but Blood Spawn, when it procs, it increases my physical and spell resistance by 6,225, which is going to put me well over cap for resistances. But that's fine, because I'm not wearing this for the resistance and spell and physical resistance. I'm wearing this for the generation of ultimate, so I can pump out more Warhorns. Tavis, when you dodge an attack, you receive Blessing. Tavis generation. Tavis is not the best ultimate regen set right now, but I'm still working on getting my dragon and stuff, so I still run this occasionally. Because I'm wearing Tavis, then I use my flex spot on my back ball, and I put Shuffle in. Okay, got Shuffle. Now I'm pumping out Warhorns literally every 32 to 34 seconds with this setup. It depends on what you need. When I say that, I'm currently farming for Sanctuary. I'm going to run Sword and Board and Jewelry, and I'm going to wear it with Eben, so I can provide the buff. And so this is for more of a Sanctum setting, more of a teaching setting. Okay, we need to boost healing a little bit. I'm going to wear Sanctuary so the healers can wear Mending and Worm or whatever they need. It all depends on what you need to provide the group and what you need personally to stay alive. Let's say I'm tanking last boss Hell Raw. I'm not running, the off tank is with me, but he's not running any kind of help with me, so I just need to be tanky. Okay, because if you weren't aware, the last boss Hell Raw is the hardest hitting boss in the game. So I need to make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on His Bulk. His Bulk is awesome because it's going to give me the health recovery I could care less about because I don't need health recovery. But it gives me major evasion. Okay, major evasion is also what I get from Shuffle. But I take off Shuffle. The reason is Shuffle is expensive magic-wise. So when you wear Tavis, you got to be aware of the fact that Shuffle costs stamina. Stamina is used for blocking. So I'm saying all this to get you guys in the mindset of the fact that that's not the right shield. Your stamina is very precious, especially these late patches. So with that being said, you need to be mindful of that. So then I'm going to take this off. Okay, I'm going to fight the last boss there. I want more magic recovery because I need to be healing more. Okay, I'm going to put another support skill on there. I'm going to put Purge on there. Increase my magic recovery by 5% on my back bar. Okay, now I'm going to buff up. And look, I'm at resistances. I like the way those resistances look. A little low on the magic recovery again. But I'm getting major evasion for free. So what that means is dodge chance for 15%. So I'm getting hit, in theory, 15% less. So since I'm getting hit 15% less, I'm not taking as much damage. I'm not having to use as much stamina to block. My thought processes may not be perfect. This may be flawed. Don't take everything I say to the bank. Again, this is what works for me. These are my goals I have as a tank, and this is how I reach them. Some other interesting sets let's see if there's some other sets. So then you have some more unique sets. For example, leeching. I very rarely use this. Now, if I'm running some harder content without a healer, and I'm still stage 4 vampire, and let's say I'm running Fall Creek or Bloodroot, or I can't think the other fire dungeon. Regardless, a lot of fire damage. I don't have a healer. I'm having to self-sustain. I'm getting some free heals, so I'm gonna put leeching on, help with my healing. Okay, I'm gonna put on one of my more recent sets that I've been running a lot since this patch, because Lord Warden got a buff in the in the radius of this. It's now up to 8 meters, which is pretty large. So I'm gonna put on my set I use. Okay, I'm going straight support for the group. I still need to be tanky. I still need to be able to provide the group with the buffs. So I need to provide Eben, and I want survivability for the group. That's my goal as a tank right now. Okay, so I'm going to put my Eben, which is in my jewelry, 2 body pieces, and then my crafted set. So you can't have jewelry and crafted sets, so I run sword and board, and then I can be picky about my traits. And I run Willow's Path. It's a strange set. I understand. Most people would never think of it as a tank set. And there's going to be people that say, oh, you should never run Willow's Path because, you're wasting a lot of the recovery bonus. Well, for me, I'm going to buff up, and I'm going to look at my stats. I had a goal. I need to provide the group with certain utility, but I need to reach a level of magic recovery that I need. So I use Willow's Path. I met my resistances. I met my minimum health, my minimum magic, my minimum stamina. On top of that, I'm providing the group with health, bringing them to that cap they need to be at. I'm providing myself with the recovery that I need to self-sustain and do my job as a tank. But now, on top of that, I'm providing the group with 3,700 physical and spell resistance. So, this is my ideology for tanking. This is my reason I run sets that I run. Again, if I'm running with a very organized and very well-versed group that all we're doing is going in for speed, we need to burn as quickly as we can. We're not learning mechanics. We're not sitting in there longer than most fights we are. We're getting in there, burning it, and heals are there. Everything's there. Everyone's organized. We don't have to worry about extra damage. Then I'm gonna run something like Eben Alkosh. But let's say we're learning Veteran Sanctum Ophidia. Well, there's a lot of healing needs to go on in there. So that's why I'm farming Sanctuary. I'm gonna put on Sanctuary. I'm gonna put on Eben. Make sure the group provides what I feel the group needs. And then what you need. First and foremost, as a tank, this has been my rule. This was taught to me by a good friend named Death Note. He's in Conviction. He's an amazing tank. He taught me a lot of he taught me a lot. Him and a couple other tanks in the guild. And so shout out to them. I don't know why I said shout out. That I don't even half the time know what that means. Regardless, he taught me something very early on when I first started taking vet trials. Your job as a tank is to stay alive and to hold aggro. First and foremost, you stay alive. Then you then you provide the buffs for the group. I see so many people trying to learn in-game tank and feeling the stress of I have to wear Eben Alkosh, I have to do this, I can't survive with this low resistance, this and this. But they feel they have to do it. So with that being said, your job as a tank is to hold aggro and stay alive. Hold aggro and stay alive first. When you get comfortable doing that, then you start seeing, where can I help the group out? Where can I be a support role? Where can I equip something that the healers or the DPS could use and I not suffer in my survivability? That's my premise for sets. And so this opens up, that's the cool thing about this game for me. That opens up the imagination. It gives me something to do when I'm looking for sets. I'll look at a set in a dungeon and be like, this would be cool matched with this set and this set. Then I can reach this goal. So that's my premise. I hope this helped a little bit. It's a little bit longer than the other one, but I just wanted to kind of give you my thought process on why I run what I run. There's not a hard meta. Look, I have Engine Guardian. I have Sentinel's Rakuza. I have Bloodspawn. I have the new Orthgore helmet. You know, I don't know, I might find something useful. Malabeth. Malabeth is another great underused set. People throw it under the rug. It's awesome. It provides a nice burst heal. And on top of that, it gives you major vitality, which is increasing your healing by 30%, which is huge. So when that beam is up and you have a healer, you're not going down, because the heals are boosted by 30% and you're getting a boost healing. That is boosted with major vitality and major mending. So you hit Igneous when this beam is up. See, 5598. I'm going to hit myself, give myself major mending. Look at this. 5598. It's still there. The tooltip doesn't change, but the amount of health does change. Not just that. You increase the healing. That's what I'm saying. There's all these sets that you can run, that you can use. You can reuse the one pieces. Let's say you need a little bit more health. Well, throw a one piece on there. Throw like a one piece that gives you health. And then you want a little bit more magic recovery. Throw on something that gives you magic recovery. It's just what you need. And so find your minimum, what you feel comfortable running at a minimum as far as recovery and resources, and then build your sets around that. As far as traits, I'll get on that in a little bit. I typically like to run, I'm going to speak on that for just a moment. I like to run 2 at a minimum. In theory, I can't always get this because drop sets are hard to get the perfect trait, especially when you run a lot of sets. Chest and legs, I like to be reinforced to help me reach cap. The rest sturdy, in theory. Now, if I'm running a set that's not giving me any bonuses to physical, for example, like Tavis, it's not giving me any bonuses to physical and spell resistance. Oh, not Tavis, but Willow's. So, I'm going to run a reinforced head, reinforced chest, and reinforced legs. It's going to help me reach that. My shields, I always run reinforced. Just because I get the most out of a reinforced shield. This one happens to be sturdy because I wanted to try it out. But I typically run, as you can tell with down here, I got reinforced, 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 reinforced. Some of them are infused and sturdy, and those are just ones I'm testing out and checking out and seeing how I do with them. So that's the reason I use that. I'm going to go over champion points in the next video. This one's too long. And again, this is not optimal. I'm not the best tank in the game. This is what works for me. Do what works for you. Find your goal and then accomplish that with whatever means you need, while providing the group with the proper debuffs, the proper boosts in DPS, and the proper health or whatever else is needed for that specific group.